Hey, it's Big Soprano, and I just vaped, and I have 20 milligrams of nicotine in the vape juice, and I feel like I'm gonna throw up right now. So if I sound sick in the video, that's probably why. So, anyways, I'm gonna be talking about my experience with drugs and autism, and if they mix like at all, if they mix well or not, or if they mix at all. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be talking about my experience with drugs and autism. It's not gonna be like two videos in one. It's gonna be more like the relationship between drugs and autism. And apparently, it's not exactly linked, but autistic individuals may use drugs to self medicate, in which I did. Okay, so in 2023, I turned to drugs. This is probably like one of the biggest mistakes in my life. Don't do it. It was a very bad choice of mine. And I just think drugs are very bad for your mental state. Not just autism, but they're very bad for your mental state. So I turned to drugs for recreational use, so for fun. That's what recreational means, like for like an altered state of mind. So obviously I did it recreationally, and I did it as a way of self-medicating. Like I thought maybe this will help with my intrusive thoughts. Spoiler alert, it didn't. So I thought it would be good to self-medicate with drugs after a big mistake I made earlier in the year. But actually it just made me worse. Okay? So I did drugs in 2023 when I moved to the trap house with my friend. And I'm gonna explain what it's like with having autism and doing those drugs. So for cocaine, I started snorting cocaine in 2023 and all that. You guys all know that. But like, I feel like cocaine made me funnier, honestly, or maybe just gave me more confidence to make more out there jokes. I don't know, but I feel like it made me funnier. Like more jokes were able to pop in my mind and all that. It makes me more like sociable. You get what I'm saying in that sense. Like I'm able to be make jokes and all that. Well, I'm not saying it makes my jokes better, but it makes me more joking, I guess I'd say. So it makes me funnier and more sociable. And it also made me hyper. Like pretty hyper. Like you don't like not hyper in the sense like you drink two cups of coffee and you're like shaking. In which I didn't experience myself like shaking because of coffee until after I did cocaine. So don't do cocaine. It affects you like a lot mentally and physically. I'd say that's like one of the physical like negatives about cocaine. So it made me hyper and like more focused and confident. And so with autism, if you're hyper, you're probably going to be more annoying. If people already find you annoying, you'll just be found more annoying. But in my experience, I wasn't called or said to be annoying while I was on cocaine, which is a good thing. I played Call of Duty on cocaine and had fun. And it's funny because I don't actually like Call of Duty Zombies, but the cocaine made me enjoy playing Call of Duty. So if you're autistic and you know you don't really like a game mode or a game as much as other people do, you then maybe trying it while on cocaine makes it better. But I'm not saying to do cocaine. I'm saying like if you did cocaine, it'd probably make it more fun. So it made Call of Duty more fun. And listening to music, it was fire. It was actually really awesome to listen to music. But it may make your autism worse. But I didn't have intrusive thoughts at this point. But for some reason, like this is probably like because I'm autistic. But my other friend was autistic too. But he probably I was probably beneath him in his eyes. But ever since I started doing coke, my friends at the time started babying me like I'm a pure soul that needs to be protected. Like just straight up babying me. And it was to the point where my friends treated me like a retard, but with good intentions. So it's kind of different, right? But you still feel like a retard. So they thought I was retarded in a good way, to the point where they would limit my drug usage if they thought it was too much. But they were actually so stupid. In that moment, I accidentally spilled a lot of coke, and my friends thought I was going to snort it all, in which I wasn't. So he just disregarded me as a total retard. So, like, they thought I was retarded, and I don't mean to, like, fling that, like, say that word, like, without any meaning, or, like, as an insult. I'm just saying they started treating me like a retard and babying me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was to the point where, like, my friend offered me and my other friend to drive his car, and he let my other friend drive, but not me. Like, he let my other friend instantly drive, but not me, because he thought I was stupid for some reason. Like, he, like, held up the keys, and he was like, he said something, and I guess I answered it wrong, but, like, it wasn't that far off, what I said. And he's like, okay, you're not driving. Like, okay, thanks. But when I was driving, I was just, like, spinning the car in circles, and he thought we were gonna crash. Meanwhile, he's all confident with my other friend. So that fucking sucked. So if you have bad friends, they'll treat you like an idiot if you have autism, you know? So when I did Molly, it was fine. I couldn't get a bitch for the life of me, and I didn't get any fuck because I'm autistic. Another bitch there took ecstasy and didn't fuck me. One time she asked me, wanna fuck? And I jokingly said yes. Like, I said, like, a straightforward yes, like, ironically. And then we never fucked. So that stupid bitch was probably testing to see if I would say yes, honestly. But next I'm gonna talk about acid. It made my nightmares come to life. Everything scared the shit out of me. Like, it was a horrible experience. So next I'm gonna talk about weed. It made me more annoying. So if you're autistic and you're annoying, it's just gonna make you more annoying. That's one thing I could say for sure. Apparently I was unbearable to talk to, but I interacted with my brother just fine. But weed made music so much better, but now weed affects my autism or OCD in a horrible way. It gives me horrible psychosis and paranoia. And I quit drugs in September 2023, except I stopped smoking weed only a few months ago. Like, it was like every once in a while I would smoke weed, but I would just get bad experience after bad experience, so I just stopped smoking weed. So yeah, that's how autism ties into drugs. It will probably just make people treat you differently, and it will probably make your thoughts worse. Like, I know it makes your mental state worse, like, way worse, but it made it, like, some things made me more autistic, like weed. So yeah, I don't recommend, like, stuff like that if you're autistic.